I'm Lori Phelps. I'm a clinical psychologist at Monroe Clinic. So I'm a clinical psychologist. I work with people who are battling depression and anxiety, and also trying to cope with traumatic events and changes in their life. I think a patient should come see any psychologist when they realize they're struggling and they can't figure out a way to cope with it in a healthy way themselves. What makes my job fun is that I get to hear amazing stories and admissions that most people don't tell other people. And so a lot of times people will come in and say, okay, this is going to sound weird, or I've never told this to anybody. And you just hear a lot of incredible stories that I don't think otherwise you would get to hear. When I'm not at work, I'm a huge believer of exercise. One, because I love being outside, and two, because exercising, especially running for me, is just so beneficial for how we feel. So I spend most of my time outside of work exercising, movies. I love movies, being with my family, and petting my cat, Amelie, who is literally the softest cat on the planet. Unfortunately, there is still somewhat of a stigma in our society about being in therapy, and behavioral health is actually in a part of the hospital that is on the edge, so that you can go there and have privacy and nobody's going to see you're there. So on one half, you want to respect someone's discomfort, because there is some stigma still, unfortunately. But I think it's healthy to look at how many people engage in therapy. A lot of people do. There are lots of different reasons to engage. And I think it'd be helpful if we did have more of a relaxed view towards being in therapy, that it's actually helpful and healthy. And then on the other side, I work with a lot of teenagers. And I remember one day I was out over the lunch hour running, and this car drove by, and I heard this kid scream, "Hey, that's my doctor!" And I turned, and there's this high school girl that I was seeing in a car filled with other kids, and she was screaming out the car, pointing at me. And it made me laugh. But what I also thought was so great is that she didn't mind having everybody know that I was her therapist, and she came and talked to me. And I actually thought that was pretty cool.